Hi everyone, it's Karen, and we're here with day number 6 of the Friendly Junk Journal People's 12 Days of Junk Journal Gift Idea Tutorials. And today we are going to be making a Notepad journal card or tag. And what I'm going to do is it's going to be a notebook journal card or a little holder for a little notepad. And what we're going to use is one of these little itty-bitty composition notebooks, these little mini composition notebooks. I picked up a packet of 3 of them from the Dollar Tree, so 3 for $1. And we're going to make a little decorative cover for this that we can use over and over. And what we'll need, my fancy schematics, is we want to make a little cover for it so that it'll cover the front, it'll have a little bit for the spine, it'll cover the back, then it'll fold over, it'll be sealed on either end so that we can slide the little notepad inside, and then when we've filled it up, we can pop it out and go on our merry way and pop another one in there. So the notebook is 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. So what we want to have is the cover be pretty much the same width, just a hair, it'll be just barely a hair bigger, and just a tiny bit taller. So this is 4 1/2, so we'll do it to 5 inches, so there'll be just a little bit of overhang at the top. So what we want to use, and what I'm going to use, is I have a piece of white cardstock paper. It's an 8 1/2 by 11 sheet, and I'm going to cut it down to these dimensions. So it'll be 5 inches tall by 9 3/4 inches wide. And then I'm going to take my scoreboard and I'm going to make 3 score marks where we'll be able to fold the paper. So 3 1/4 for the front, then we'll do a score mark, 1/4 inch to accommodate the little spine in here. So do a second score line at 3 1/2. Then we'll have an additional 3 1/4 on the back to fit the back cover of the book. And our third score line we'll put at 6 3/4, which will give us another piece that will fold over here so that we can tuck the book inside. So those are our key dimensions. If you want to pause it here and mark all this down. Hopefully my lines will be cut a little bit straighter than I've drawn them, and it'll be in more the proper proportions. So we'll get our paper trimmer out. And I'm hoping this doesn't cause me too much grief, because this one does not necessarily cut perfectly straight. So I want it to be 9 3/4. Is that what I said? Yeah, 9 3/4 by 5. So take this to 9 3/4. Whoopsie. Sorry about that. And I'm just going to hope that this is cutting straight. This thing does not always cut perfectly straight for me. So we've got it at 9 3/4, and we want 5 on the other direction. So we'll keep these extra bits for something else. We'll put the paper trimmer away for now. We'll need it a little bit later for some of the decorative stuff we're going to do. Then I want to get up my scoreboard. part's not essential. I don't need that open. The scoreboard's not essential. If you have one, it's handy. If not, it's no big deal. I still haven't found my little scoring tool. Oh, continue using my crochet hook. So we need 3 1/4, 3 1/2. That was not 3 1/4. This is 3 1/4. And then we need 6 3/4. Is that the very last one on here? Yes. So we're done with the scoreboard. So we want to just kind of fold these in on their score lines. And I made a mistake and I scored an extra. So we'll just disregard that one. So now we have the basic structure. The front cover, spine, the back cover, and then the fold over. So our little book is going to fit in like so. So the next thing we want to do is seal these 2 flaps at the top and the bottom. So I'm going to use my tape runner, or yeah, my little double-sided tape runner. And we've secured that down, so now our book, when you have it lined up straight, it's going to slide in there just like so. And once you've used this up and you've filled the first book up, you just slide that out, start with a new one. So now what I want to do is do a little bit of decoration on here. Right now it's very plain. And what I like to do is put a little decoration on the front and back covers on the outside. Then we'll put a little bit on the inside as well. Now because I'm doing this one as a winter theme, I'm going to use one of my 6x6 pads of scrapbook paper. This is a perfect way to use up your scrapbook paper, especially the 6x6 books, because they're always so pretty. I always buy them, then I never really know what to use them for. So there's all kinds of pretty pictures in here, and all kinds of nice pretty wintry designs. But I think what I want to do is, since I've got a few other things that have been kind of in a snowflake and a blue theme, we'll use this one. And now what I'm going to want to do is cut this in half so I can put half on one side, half on the other side. So I'll get the paper trimmer back out again. Trim this little top portion off. That's going to even out that edge. that little sliver off there. And then we're just going to want to cut this in half. Cut this to decide exactly how you want it, the orientation on the front of your book. So I want this on the front. You see, we're a little bit too much. So what I want to do is just make a little mark on here. Where'd my pencil? Oh, there it is. So I'm going to make a tiny little mark on here. What's that, about an inch? Yeah. So I'll take about an inch off the bottom. Well, I'm going to take off the bottom because I like this part here. And we'll keep that little extra guy for now. Do the same for the other half. Take up about an inch. Save that one for later. And now what we're going to want to do is just attach these onto the front and back of our little booklet, or on our little cover. So again, I'm just going to use my double-sided tape. And try to get it laid down fairly straight. I don't always manage that. So do that on the front, and just make sure you've got it. This is not as important if it was upside down or right side up. It's okay either way. But if you're using paper that's directional, make sure you have it right side up. We'll do the same on the back. I didn't cut these to the exact same size, apparently. That's okay, because I got a tiny bit more. So there we have the front and back. Some nice decoration on it. Now what we can do with these other two pieces is we can place them on the back or on the inside covers and use them as teeny little tuck spots. So in case you have a little something you want to tuck, especially in the front. The back you won't see as often because you'll have this tucked in and the book will be closed. But we can attach this down and use that little extra as a tuck spot. So let's put a little bit of double-sided tape on the table and and on this double-sided tape's getting everywhere for me. So put a little bit of double-sided tape on the three sides, the side, the bottom, and then this side. And then we can just place that down. And then we have a tiny little tuck spot. So suppose we have a couple little pieces of note paper that we want to just tuck in here. And then on this side we can do either The other one, we can do another little tuck spot on the inside back cover, or we can use that as a decoration, or we can just leave this alone. I think actually today I'm going to just leave this side alone. And then we just tuck our notebook back in here again. What would also look nice on here would be a little bit of, back to my decoupaging napkins on things. So there you go, tuck in our little notebook. And there we have our little notebook, or our little Notepad journal card. So we could just tuck that in. It'd be handy to throw into our purse. We can use a little bit of ribbon or lace. I'll measure this one a little bit better than I did yesterday. It's a little bit, cut it a little short yesterday. So there we go, just a little bit of lace, little lace tie on here. You can use a little piece of ribbon, you can use embroidery thread, a little piece of yarn, any number of things you can use as a closure on here. So there we have it. Relatively quick and easy little notebook cover. Alrighty, I hope you enjoyed that, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Talk to you again tomorrow. Bye now.